In my deepest wound, I saw your glory, and it dazzled me. Faith is like a bright ray of sunlight. It enables us to see God in all things, as well as all things in God. Death does not have the final say. Just as everything seemed lost and darkness appeared to have conquered light, Jesus rose from the dead on the third day. Every cross we bear has a resurrection through Jesus Christ. Life on earth is but a pilgrimage we make towards our ultimate goal, which is heaven. The Lord is bright, luminous, and resplendent as the sun at midday, and this light penetrates the rock. His limbs start to move, and the body of our Lord, being reunited to his soul and to his divinity, rises and shakes off the shroud. The whole of the cave is illuminated. The glorified body of our Lord rises up, and it passes through the hard rock as easily as if the rock were wax. Death has lost its sting forever. The Shroud of Turin is a length of linen burial cloth, said to be the burial cloth that covered Jesus Christ. It bears the faint image of a crucified man with injuries consistent to those that Jesus endured during the crucifixion. It has been preserved since 1578 in the Royal Chapel of the Cathedral of San Giovanni Battista in Turin, Italy, which is why it is known as the Shroud of Turin. The shroud appears to be an example of a poeta, an image that is said to have come into existence miraculously, not created by human hands. The tilma of Guadalupe is another example of an image referred to as a poeta. Modern science has completed hundreds of thousands of hours of detailed study and intense research on the Shroud of Turin. It is, in fact, the single most studied artifact in human history, and we know more about it today than we ever have before. Yet the most advanced technology available today isn't able to replicate all the characteristics of the Shroud image. The Shroud speaks to all individuals in any language, whoever contemplates its mystery. It is a sign of both sadness and joy, death and resurrection. In God's eternal vision, the Shroud exists for all of us modern-day doubting Thomases. The more advanced technology becomes, the more the Shroud confounds the scientists studying it. It was near the turn of the 20th century that scientists first began to take an interest in the Shroud of Turin. This resulted from the first photographs ever taken of the Shroud by an Italian photographer named Secondo Pia in 1898. In Pia's darkroom, one of the abiding secrets of the Shroud was first revealed. Pia removed this glass negative from the developing solution and discovered that the negative, which he had held in his hands, was actually a positive, a print which was far more lifelike than the image viewed with the naked eye. This meant that the image on the Shroud was a negative. When printed, the dark areas of the image appeared light and the light areas appeared dark, and there was a left-right reversal of details. The most important scientific implication of Pia's discovery was that the Shroud was not an obvious forgery. Why would a 14th century forger have painted a negative image? Not until the 19th century did anyone understand the concept of photographic negativity. What he saw violated all the laws of photography, and he knew it. The stained image, diffuse and flat on the relic, now stood out like a picture of an actual body, the contours indicated by minute gradations of shading. The face had become a harmonious, recognizable portrait of a bearded man with long hair. Emotions, frozen in death, emanated from the features. A vast patience, a noble resignation. Even with the eyes shut, the face was suffused by an expression of majesty, impossible to analyze. All this on his negative plate. It is exceedingly improbable that the shroud is a medieval forgery. First, there are no paints, dyes, or other pigments on the shroud. The image does not permeate the flax linen, only on one side. Only the very top fibers of the linen contain the actual image. These fibers are between 10 and 20 microns thick, and that is thinner than human hair. If a razor blade were to be run over the flax linen surface, the image would disappear. It would be shaved off. The anatomical precision of the blood stains cannot be explained. The blood is real human blood of the type AB positive, matching the blood found in the Eucharistic miracle of Lanciano. The blood on the shroud congealed on the cloth before the formation of the image. The blood stains come from a crucifixion event identical to the one described in the four Gospels, which was very unusual, if not unique in world history in many respects. The man on the shroud was crowned with thorns, flogged and pierced with a Roman lance. The body image was created by molecular change of linen fibers. There are bloodstains. There is no body image beneath the bloodstains. That means that the blood was there first, before the image of the body appeared on the shroud. The origin of the shroud's image points to a burst of vacuum ultraviolet radiation from a mechanically transparent body. This is suggestive of the transformation of Jesus' body from a physical one to a spiritual, glorified one, as reported by St. Paul in the four Gospels. The ultraviolet light necessary to do so would exceed the maximum power released by all ultraviolet light sources available today. It would require pulses having durations shorter than 1/40 billionth of a second and intensities on the order of several billion watts. The spiritual, glorified transformation of Jesus' body was unique to the Christian view of resurrection, not known in Judaism, which held to a resuscitation of the flesh, or pagan cults, which held to ethereal or ghost-like views of immortality. Thus, the enigmas on the shroud's image point to the uniquely Christian view of resurrection implied by Jesus' risen appearance. Life on earth is but a pilgrimage we make towards our ultimate goal, which is heaven. When we die in God's grace with contrite hearts, our bodies are the dress of our lifetime's work that we throw off as we await the robe of the eternal Sunday. Christ offers himself for us. Will you choose his offer of salvation? We are called to convert, to change our ways, and to persist in prayer so that we do not fall into sin again. We all have hope in the name of the Lord. Faith is to believe what you do not see. The reward of faith is to see what you believe.